Welcome back, ladies and gents. Another video for you tonight. Uh, let's get right into it. I don't know what I'm going to title this one. Maybe something like "You Might Be Old." If you remember these are 10 old scents. That you just might be old if you remember. But also, I find, with the exception of two, and I'll talk about that, very wearable today. This is, like I said, you might be old if you remember, but you also might be old at heart. Like me, a lot of these came out before I was even born. As a matter of fact, I think the first three I'm going to talk about, I was around. After that, the rest of them, the next seven, were out before I was even born. So I'm 40 some years. These are old classics, still wearable today. Uh, at the end of the video, I'll tell you which two I don't think and why. But the rest of them are. So anyway, that's kind of what it is. So either you're old, you remember these. I mean, that's just for fun, guys. I'm not calling you old, because we all probably remember most of these anyway. Most probably 20, 30-year-old guys know what these are. But I'm just saying, if you were around and you wore these, it's probably time to start looking at your retirement, if you know what I mean. What you're going to do for your retirement, because it's getting close. um, yeah, all kidding aside, guys, here we go. The first one, and I'm starting out with, according to when they're released, the newest to the oldest. And the first one is the newest, and it was out in '88. So I was but a wee lad. I haven't even hit double digits yet. Fendi Umo. Uh, Classic, goes for a lot of money now online. It's weird, but it's classified as a woody spicy. It's leather, patchouli, spices, florals and woods, and even has a bit of a soft, sweet amber kind of vibe on the base. I would call this, they call it a woody spicy. I'd call it more of a woody leather spicy scent, because there's a shit ton of leather in this. A lot of leather. Um, yeah, and it's got this sweet, like I said, kind of sweetness in the background. A lot of these have a sweetness in the background, which you wouldn't expect, but they really do. But so when I say this as a sweetness, if I don't say it, remember, I don't mean, it's never to the forefront. It's never overly sweet. It's just giving character to the fragrance, adding a layer, and usually in the background, just like this. But oh my God, is it ever good? Is it ever good, guys? And I'm not giving you a bunch of notes and reviews and stuff, guys, like that. If you find any one of these or two or all of them interesting, as I said in my video before, go to Fragrantica, do some work, find out, maybe get some samples, see what you like. If you like old school fragrances, though, every one of these are. I love old school fragrances. Oh God, just love them. Let's get into the second one. This and another one coming up from the same company seem to be picking up steam lately again on in the community, and it's weird. Tuscany, Aramis Tuscany Perfumo, 1984. So again, I was around, but I wasn't even in school yet. Jeez, I like this. Classified as an aromatic fougere. These citruses, spice, and leather again, and lavender, woods, and moss. Oh my God, timeless, classic masculine scent. Gets compared to Azzaro, which is on this list. But just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. If you like aromatic fougères, a little bit of a different twist with that spice and citrus. Yeah, get this. Get this. Maybe that's why it's picking up, because it's good. The next one is I Was Just Born. Basically, it's as a baby. 1981. Aquarium. Oh, I love this stuff. I'm going to give it a spray. Oh, it's so woody. So green. I mean, it's green. It's 70s, 80s green. Oh, oh yeah, soapy, green, woody, soapy, clean, pine and oak moss and some tobacco, and it's got a bit of a smoky tobacco to it. Like, don't think incense, sweet incense. Like I said, modern fragrances. No, it's got like this dry, smoky tobacco. Oh, leather, of course. And just look at that bottle. That bottle just screams late 70s, early 80s. The baby shit green, the burgundy and gold top, and the atomizer's crimped on. There's not even a collar around it. It just screams 70s and 80s to me. Um, the next one is Chaps. This one is hard for me to smell. I put a little bit on. I have a video. Go look it up. It's about my cousin who died, and this is what he wore when we were kids. This came out in '79, so geez, when we was 15 years old when we were wearing it. Um, it's classified as a woody chypre. You know, oak moss woods and lavender. Again, with that underlying sweetness, amber-like sweetness. Um, every time I smell it, I think of Davy. Anyway, yeah, just I'm not smelling anymore, guys. But yeah, really nice. Very surprisingly, not a lot of leather in it, or any leather really. It's more of a citrusy, woody, lavender kind of scent. It's really nice, really nice. Next is I gotta get a new bottle list. I only got a little bit left, and it was only like a little 50 ml bottle. It's 50 ml. Yeah, the 50 ml bottle. Lagerfield Classic, 1978. Classified as an amber woody scent. Just a masculine scent, guys. Just masculine. Tobacco, vanilla, again, a soft, sweet vanilla and powdery with musk. This is just one of the ones, if it wears well on you, it wears well. I mean, if it doesn't, it don't. You know what I mean? I guess that's kind of obvious, but you know what I mean. If it works for you, it'll really work for you. Gets compared to Obsession and Jovan Musk a lot. I get the comparison, but it's its own thing. It's its own thing. Yeah, it's its own thing, guys. Honestly. 1977. Azzaro. Classic. When we say aromatic fougere, the classic quintessential North American barbershop scent. Lavender and oak moss and leather and vetiver and citrus and spice and amber, and again with that soft sweetness in the background. But it's a soapy, soapy barbershop kind of clean smell. Very nice. If you haven't smelled the Azzaro, what are you doing? Pause the video, go buy. It's like a nickel. I mean, go buy it and try it. It's gorgeous. Next up is the other Aramis. Devon Country Eau de Cologne. Classified as a chypre. Green, leather, mossy, floral, woody. I used to not like this one. I've come around to it actually quite a bit, and I really enjoy it now. I sprayed it on a couple times the last few months just on the back of my hand, and I really like this one. I didn't like it because when I first got it and sprayed it, I wasn't. There was something in it that made it smell almost like. Quite honestly, I've said it before. I said like piss and hay, but it's an animal. The musk they're using in this, I'm guessing, is probably a civet or something like that. It's an animal musk, and it gives it that animalic kind of funkiness, and it is pretty potent. But it is so nice with all those other notes. It really does work. Very unique. This is one I think that's really catching on right now again. I don't think it's cheap anymore. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I spent $20 on it. So, yeah, if you can find it and find it cheap, give it a try, guys. If you like animalic stuff, you might like that one. Because it's not for everybody, though. One I absolutely love, but as I've stated before in a video Most people, when I wear it, don't. That's gray flannel. I love gray flannel. Classified as an amber woody, and it is. It's got some sweetness in it. This one's a little more sweet than, it's not again like today's sweetness, but it's a little more than most of them. It's a little more to the forefront in this one, believe it or not. And it's got woods. It's unique. It's different, and it's in its own way. It was even back in its own day, back in, what did I say, 1975. This was different even back then from everything I've smelled that come out around that time. I mean, I wasn't there obviously, but yeah, super floral, lots of iris, violet, geranium. This is a rose scent at its heart, a sweet rose, sweet green and rose scent with some powdery vibe to it. It is, like I said, I love it. I think it's, but it's a little daring, especially, I mean, even back in the day, it would have been a little daring, I think, but by today's standards, very, very daring. Next is another one. Between this and Azzaro, I don't know which one I like better. Honestly, it's just what I'm in the mood for. Because this is a little lighter, a little sweeter, a little fresher. Azzaro's a little more on that lavender barbershop kind of vibe. Well, this is that 1973 Aromatic Fougere. Again, classic quintessential barbershop. Old-fashioned class, you know what I mean? Classy, old-fashioned type vibe. Not old manish by any stretch of the word. Soapy, clean. It's green and lavender florals with and it's got an earthiness to it with that sweetness, because the sweetness is coming from honey, not from. I mean, there's some amber in there, but it's mostly you get an earthy kind of honey vibe, sweet honey vibe in the background. Like I said, between this and Azzaro, I don't know, man. It just depends on the day which one I want to wear. Again, another one you can get for a song and a dance. So if you like Fougères and haven't tried this one, do yourself a favor. Go get it. And last but not least, came a way, way back in 1967, but I honestly think it's as wearable today as it's ever been. And that's Avon Wild Country. Yes, it's an aromatic fougere, classified again. Very powdery and with a slight sweetness, a vanilla powdery, so I'm going to say lavender. Yeah, it's a vanilla lavender combo. That soft sweetness in the background there again. With this dusty kind of Tonka vibe. It's citruses. I find it surprisingly wearable today, but you may not. If you don't like old school fragrances, and none of these are going to be wearable, but they're all gross. But yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. I fucking love it. And the thing is, when I say, again, as I said in the video, old, I don't really mean you're old, guys. I'm just teasing. But you might be old at heart like me, although I am old. So, whatever. But you might be, you know, in your 30s and 40s like me and love this stuff. Might be in your 20s and teens and love it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you'll stand out if you're in high school or college wearing fucking gray flannel than you will wearing any Paco Rabanne, Bubblegum Sweet, Invictus, any Sauvage, or Bleu de Chanel, blue scents. You know, you're going to stand out wearing any of these. And and women still like them. I've always said that. Women, because at the heart, these are all clean scents, clean, soapy, fresh, clean scents, leathery. And women like that stuff. They really do. Geez, that Avon is good. And it's Avon. Again, Nichols. Get it. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's 10. You might be old if you remember these fragrances. The thing is too is you'll notice a lot of these, like I said, are kind of the samey. And we're talking about that nowadays. So like everything's a blue fragrance, everything's a this fragrance, everything's a this fragrance. It's always been that way, guys. Here's living proof. These are all have that classic vibe to them. but they're all different enough. Just like all the blue fragrances. Chanel's blue doesn't smell like, or blue de Chanel doesn't smell like Sauvage, doesn't smell like YSL, doesn't smell like Dylan Blue, blah, blah, blah. You know, this oud fragrance does not smell like this oud fragrance or this oud fragrance. This elixir doesn't smell like this elixir, doesn't smell like this elixir, but they all have a similar thing to what they're doing, right? You know what I mean? So it's been going on for a while now. It's not going to change. Something will come along and change. I'll talk about that. I want to do a video about what I think is going to happen with perfume in general. You also got to remember, guys, men back in the day, at least from what I remember, my father, my grandfather, my uncles, my older cousins and stuff, only had a couple fragrances at most. Most of the time they only had one, and it was an aftershave, and it was Old Spice and or Brut. That was it. Every now and then you get an English leather thrown in there, but that was it. That was their going out scent. That was their going to work scent. That was their hanging with their friends scent. That was their chilling around the house scent. That was it. So not too many guys would have had all of these. And a lot of guys, like I said, would have looked at them and said, like a lot of people say, well, why do I need Bleu de Chanel if I have Sauvage? Why do I need Sauvage if I have YSL? You know what I mean? So you can see where it's going. So yeah, so I hope this is just for fun, guys. I hope you had fun. Again, I'm not calling you old. I'm just having a little fun. Don't take it personal. But you might want to start checking on your retirement fund. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.